welcome back, everybody, to Pick and Roll. We're here on Friday, giving you the show on the board on YouTube. The board is the NBA content division of the Hammer Betting Network. So if you've been enjoying the content or are enjoying for the first time today, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Help us on the road to 600 subs, eventually 1,000 subscribers. And please make sure to hit that like button to help support along the way. Also, for more sports betting content, visit, of course, thehammer.bet at 12 p.m. on the Forward Progress YouTube channel. Eastern time. There will be a player prop breakdown for the two games happening this weekend over there. But here we talk about the NBA. And just to preface, to go in fully transparent on today's episode, we did have to change. Why? Oh, sorry. I had a sound issue there. My sound wasn't coming through. We're all good. Sorry about that, guys. Full transparency for today's episode, we gave Pips like extra half hour here. Unfortunately, there just really was nothing that he felt comfortable providing to you guys as an official bet for today. Transparency is definitely important to us, and just respecting you guys is obviously very important to us. So I think we felt it was best not to force you guys into betting something that Pips himself would not give his full confidence on to actually make a play. So what we will do instead, we'll present some leans a little bit later on. And we know that from the recap as we go into today, the losing play did occur as a result of an injury to Luka Doncic. So DraftKings is actually going to be providing a free bet back on that one. So there will be a free bet for you guys to use. We'll be also providing some sort of lean on what you can do with that free bet. Hopefully that comes in tonight. Maybe something that goes into tomorrow as well. But we're going to be providing leans and also something you can use with that free bet. So let's talk about that. I mean, nothing to talk about with Luka Doncic, really. He left after 3 minutes. There's nothing you can do to prepare for that. Kyrie Irving, though, it just seemed like all throughout the game, he was going to cover. He was pretty on the money against the Pistons here. In the Nets loss as well.
Yeah, Kyrie was making incredible shots all over the place, played amazing game. One of the best games of the season. From what I saw from him this season, and Nets just couldn't get any stops. Like when Claxton sits down, they will get like 10 straight possessions without being able to get a one stop. Like it was amazing, and I'll just check one stat that I've. It was so interesting to see throughout the game. So yeah, Jalen Duran had 17 points, like and every point was like dunk. He was dunking like I think he has like 5 to 6 dunks. It was pretty amazing. Like for a couple of straight possessions, he'll just be wide open under the rim. So many miscommunications on the Nets defense, and yeah, their defense without K, which is interesting. People will think like their offense will have problems without KD, but it's actually way more problematic on defensive end, and they miss KD a lot.
Yeah.
And we can also discuss about one thing. I don't know if you saw the Vaughn interview after the game when he was like, uh, I think he was frustrated with Ben Simmons. Like he said, like bruised knee or something.
I
Like
didn't see it.
yeah,
Was it
it
about a
was.
Ben Simmons injury?
Yeah, he was talking about TJ Warren, and he actually said TJ Warren had actual injury, and Ben Simmons was just soft. Like not with the exact words, but when you listen to it, you can hear it.
I mean, obviously, like Jack Vaughn wasn't probably part of the discussion in acquiring Ben Simmons in that trade, but it's just not very surprising at this point. I honestly feel bad because I do feel like there are bigger forces at play with Ben Simmons. I don't think like he's like willfully trying to avoid games because he just doesn't want to play. I genuinely think there's something going on inside that it's just tough for him to express there, and I just
Yeah,
I just feel bad. I just feel bad, honestly.
it was like grown man. He was like trying to get from some scream and got slapped in the face, but it was like girl slap, like not nothing serious. And he was like, he went outside and went to the locker room. Like I was like 99
Yeah.
point of the players were just like okay and continue playing. Like he almost started like crying. I don't know what was going on. And he went to the locker room and he stayed there for like a couple of minutes. And they said he didn't come back because of knee soreness.
I,
And it was like 5 point game, and they needed him there, out there. Like I think they could win with him just defending there. Like
yeah. I don't know if I'm like going soft. Like I genuinely like I don't like that at all, of course. But I just for a player like Ben Simmons, it just feels like maybe there's some sort of mental health issue. Maybe there's something going on. That's why I kind of refrain from going like super deep on him as maybe I would have done a year or two ago. But I mean, I'm not a Brooklyn Nets fan. If I was, I'd be immensely frustrated as a result of that. One thing, yeah, go ahead.
this is what he had, like 0 points and 1 rebound. Okay, he had a couple of
He's
assists,
just
but
got to be, yeah. The amount he's getting paid, especially,
yeah.
he's just got to be better. I think that also factors in. Like he's getting paid to be a superstar player, and he's just not. He's just not on the court. That has to factor in as well with the frustration. I did want to go back to what you said about Kevin Durant. Obviously, be able to talk about how good Kevin Durant is offensively. You made a good point. Kevin Durant has been quite great on defense this season as well, and he's a significant part of what the Brooklyn Nets do defensively, and part of the reason why they continue to win. So I'm glad you did shout out that. But a winner over there. Second one, this will kind of lead into the discussion. I wanted to talk about the refund DraftKings gave out. So obviously, well, let's talk about the game first of all. No Luka Doncic for 45 minutes of this game. The Phoenix Suns still lost though. Spencer Dinwiddie, 36 points. Phoenix only managed to score 95 in this game. They lose by 4. Um, I kind of wanted so somebody in a comment, I'll try to find it here. They said, did Spencer Dinwiddie win this game or did Phoenix lose this game? Like which one was more relevant to the outcome, if that makes sense?
So yeah, the DVD had a massive game. Like he just so in control from like the first second to the last second of the game. Like he was amazing. I just love when he like in the pick and roll he gets in front of his guard and just stay in front of him, like like slow, having him on the back, and then just go to the pull up shoot and get free throws because he's so close behind him, or just go to the layup. And yeah, he was amazing, so in control, so like very intelligent game from the Spencer Dinwiddie. But I think, of course, he had an amazing game. But I would say, like for me in that game, Mavericks defense won the game. There were no Luka Doncic. There was no Wood, and
Mm-hmm.
Dorian
Two
Finney-Smith was
bad
back.
defenders.
Yeah, so like their defense was amazing. So without like they are probably their two worst defensive players. So I think they won the game with like Phoenix Suns scored 95 points. So they had like Reggie Bullock, Dorian Finney-Smith, Dwight Powell, Tim Hardaway Jr., Spencer Dinwiddie, Josh Green, like are even or positive defensive guys, and yeah, I think that's the reason. And yeah,
I mean, it makes sense the way that one went. I guess when you take out two subpar defenders and you really dial in Jason Kidd style defense as well, the way he can kind of coach that team, still not a great result for the Suns. Let's talk about the Doncic situation. So DraftKings is going to if you bet it at DraftKings, which is where we gave it out officially, where Pips gave it out officially, you do get a refund in bonus bets here. I was fully expecting it to be nothing. So they do give out the bonus. In the past, there's been other sports books like I think you talked about FanDuel gave a refund on Devin Booker when he got injured, Anthony Davis when he got injured early on in the game. There's been discussions on other parts of the Hammerbet network on the Circles Off channel about free bets. It's been met mostly by the sharp community with, I guess, criticism when sportsbooks do it, but kind of wanted to hear your thoughts on when sportsbooks decide to give you a refund when a key player gets injured so early on in the game.
I'm actually okay with it. I mean, like you have like good things and bad things about it, but like most people, when it's Luka Doncic in this example, Devin Booker, they are on his overs, and like this is a move that actually costs the money for sportsbook in the short term, but in the long term, then you can count on us guys, folks, people, or anything, and they make like that huge post, and everyone is like, "Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you." It's a huge positive for their brand, for their marketing, and it's a good move from them for them, and it's a good for mostly like I know that sharp people are not fan of it, but recreational players get the money back and get the free bets, so it's quite enjoyable for like most of the people. So I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I just look like people. Obviously, I think it's frustrating, of course, but at the end of the day, injuries are part of the game. It's very frustrating, but the possibility of injury is priced into the line that is set. Like there's always a threat of that happening. But like you said, for the sports books, I guess it's up to them. The only thing they have to deal with when they refund like Doncic like this is that, now the expectation is going to be that every time there's an injury early on into a game, that should be refunded. So I think some more frustrations could be mounted because, well, you refunded this, but you're not refunding something else. But again, that's up for the sportsbook to handle on their own. And then another part of it is, well, like I guess the Dallas Mavericks won this game. So if Dallas were to have lost, would you refund the Dallas money line? People may say that. It's just, but again, it's up to the sports book to make those decisions.
Yeah, that's not like refunding the money line. Like, come on, like
For
that's
sure.
crazy.
But, if I bet on Dallas and Luka Doncic plays 3 minutes in Dallas, I mean, they probably should have lost this game as a result. Like, that's a massive swing to the money line and the spread. Like, you wouldn't see me complaining about this stuff. I'm just saying that this is like the extent of it. At the end of the day, this comes probably like we talked about it right before the show started. This is probably a marketing sort of thing. So
Yeah.
this is likely coming out of the marketing budget for DraftKings because this looks really good because now people are going to continue to play on DraftKings because they're going to get that free bet. They're going to use that. If they win, they're going to probably use that money again. Maybe if you're not as in tune with, I guess, sharper sports gambling, you might lose all that money back. So that's probably the expectation there. And also people see that on DraftKings and maybe they're more likely to bet their next bet on DraftKings. Like, well, if a player gets injured, then at least I'm covered over there. So I
I
don't know.
think
I guess there's
I
nothing wrong
also,
with it.
yeah, there is nothing wrong with that. With everyone that says that there is something wrong, I would love to hear their arguments and discuss it with them, because like there's some like I won't say anything like about this, but with, you said like money line and everything. Like I think that's just spoiled people. Like come on, like
For
be real.
sure, for sure. Like for me, I'm
Yeah,
comfortable taking the loss on Doncic, but from
yeah.
a betting perspective, I'll enjoy it, right? I get the free bet. I'm not going to ask for anything, but if I get it, then sure, I'm going to use
Yeah,
that free bet.
exactly. Like you just need to like be in the state like, okay, that's their goodwill. They are giving me money this time. I'm not like supposed to get it every time, and that's it. Like I know people are not like this and not thinking like this. They think they're like I can't find the right word to explain it. Why, but like entitled. Like people feel
Yeah, I
entitled from
suppose.
some like so yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I think
It's a
it's all in
it's a
all,
great
it's like
gesture for them
more
to do
positive
it.
than negative.
I
Yeah,
like this.
like
It's great for
goodwill,
them to do it.
and that's
You shouldn't really like uh, expect it, but it's nice to have it when it's there. Okay,
it.
I
Yeah,
think that's a good way to kind of round it all off there. So we'll take it, and we'll talk about some leans later on that maybe we can use that free bet. Maybe this could be a little bit of a sort of insight into strategy using free bets because people tend to ask questions about that. Before that, though, we do want to talk a little bit about the big news in the NBA yesterday. The All-Star starters were selected yesterday. And I kind of wanted to see if you felt like there were any surprises there, anybody you feel like should have made it that didn't. I'll pull it up here. So Western Conference All-Star starters, the full teams haven't been picked, but the starters are here. Western Conference, it is LeBron James, who is the captain, Steph Curry, Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, and Zion Williamson. On the Eastern Conference side, there was a lot of debate about who should be the forwards here, but it is Giannis, who is the captain, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and Donovan Mitchell as the starters over there. So, Pips, I guess we'll bring it over to you. Do you feel like anybody was snubbed, first of all? And second of all, I think your answer is, I think I know your answer already, but do you think the NBA should drift away from positional starting fives in the All-Star game?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm huge fan of them removing the positions, because you just can't have this and no Embiid here. Like
Yes, he's in the thumbnail today.
that's absurd. Like yeah, and yeah, it's I don't think Kyrie Irving deserves to be here. Like he had a good season. He's playing pretty well, but like Embiid should be there, and I think one another guy should be there before Kyrie, and that's James Harden.
You
Like
do you feel I guess Kyrie for the missed time. I suppose the passing um I'm just trying to think. I feel like I'd still go with Kyrie Irving, just outstanding way he's playing, but it's tough to ignore also James Harden, who will be an all-star as well, maybe not in the starting five. I think from a positional standpoint, yeah. Why do I have to choose between Giannis, Tatum, Durant, and Embiid when very obviously Joel Embiid should be starting this game? Also, not to mention the fact that there's technically no center in the starting five for the Eastern Conference here. So you could easily list Jason Tatum as a shooting guard for that. I don't think you need to list really at all the way the NBA is today. The best five players in the conference, like, these accolades matter. These accolades matter towards discussion, towards legacy, and they matter towards the players. Like Joel Embiid is going to be sour that he's not in the starting five here, and it's just because
we,
it's positionally locked. Yeah.
we could also talk about the Western Conference. Like should Shea be there before Zion?
Yeah, that was going to be the next thing I brought up there. But I also feel like Shea might feel a little bit hard done by for this list, but he's really not going to be there ahead of Steph Curry or Luka Doncic.
Yeah, of course.
There's just no way.
But
But
as we said, like with Embiid, like I think Shea is better than Zion. Like
yes, I definitely agree there. So I guess they have the right to be frustrated. As far as for it being positionally locked, I can't really see anybody else having slipped in here. I guess the James Harden one is interesting. I still feel like I'd go with Kyrie Irving before I go with James Harden. The chat as well. Jalen Brown has an
I
argument.
mean, this is
I'd say it's the
votes.
two.
Like people decided. I mean, like,
Yeah. This is fan voted, right?
yeah,
So
Zion obviously like has I don't know like 4.5 million votes, and we have Shea with 2. So of course, like
yeah,
there is no way.
you're
Like
right.
even if we make it positionless, like there is no way. But in that said, like Joel Embiid is fourth, like above Kyrie Irving and Donovan
And
Mitchell.
Don Mitchell.
Yeah, and I think Donovan Mitchell is way more deserving than Kyrie Irving, from my side.
Yeah. Makes sense. I mean, the arguments completely make sense. I guess the fan vote is really marketing. We've talked a lot about marketing today, but it is marketing. It gets people talk about it online. It gets people involved with the NBA website. This used to be you post on Twitter up until last season, so even more exposure for the NBA. That I think they were upset that Andrew Wiggins became an all-star starter because there was I believe it was a K-pop star who tweeted him out and like single-handedly got him into an all-star starting position, as crazy as that sounds. Did you not know that?
No,
Okay, there was
yeah.
I don't know if it was a member of BTS, a massive group, but a K-pop star or something along the lines tweeted Andrew Wiggins hashtag NBA All-Star and something about get this guy like an all-star star position. And that tweet alone got him enough votes that he was a starter, even though players, media, and coaches, I believe, all have a say in starters. there is such a big factor on the tweets that went out that single tweet was too much for the players combined with media, combined with coaches to pick the all-star starters because the tweets mattered so much. So I'm like, they didn't explicitly say, but I'm like 100% sure that's why there's no more tweeting for all-star starters. And instead it's just online. So you can't, like a famous person can't abuse that. But that's the way the system was drawn. I'm not saying Andrew Wiggins isn't a good player, by the way, but like in respectful as possible, he should not have even been an all-star, let alone an all-star starter. That being said, okay, like, you know what? Congratulations to him. I don't want to sound like a hater there, but just, I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest, right? All right, enough on that. Let's go to the betting segment here. So, no, again, fully transparent, guys. As we mentioned earlier, yeah,
I can just go through every game and like how do I see it and what bets to take a look or like what to stay away from.
for sure. I can also provide a couple of I'll provide a couple later on if you guys care about that one as well. But full transparency, as we mentioned earlier on in the show, no official picks for today because like we said, we respect the viewers. Pips definitely doesn't want to give out anything that he would not give his seal of approval on. So we don't want to force you guys to bet anything that maybe us ourselves would not bet. So we are going to talk about some leans. And also because DraftKings did give out that refund of the Doncic bet, we're going to consider using what we can do with that free bet and also talk about free bet strategies. But you take it away, Pips.
So we can just go to the slate and like, can you just open the DraftKings on your screen and share it? Like,
yes,
play pro, like points
for
section. So
any game.
Yeah, you can just entire slate. So like from every game, like
sure. All right. So DraftKings screen is open. Let's go to Milwaukee and let's look at player props.
Yeah. So we can do it like that, but I'll just say like this is a bit difficult game because Nemhard, Nesmith, and Turner are questionable. So it hugely depends on if they decide to play or not. So obviously, if like they have like at least Nemhard and Nesmith playing, it is a huge spot to bet Giannis over because if there's no Miles Turner, I think he will crush this line. But obviously, it's a blowout concern, and if every player possible being out, it's a difficult game, and I decided to stay away. This is a difficult game to bet because, like, you can bet Giannis over, and he could have like 28 in like 2.5 quarters, and it's a blowout. He never comes back, and we lose this bet. So, like, difficult game to bet on. But if everyone is in for the Pacers, you can later on probably bet Giannis over 30.5 points. Should be a good spot for him. So that's about.
Do you think if all the Pacers are in, that this line will drop, or do you think it will go up because there's less of a threat of a blowout?
I think it will go up. I think it
will go up. Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess on top of that,
we can also check where he gets the best price. I think that's like the great move. Yeah, it's FanDuel is minus 118. So you obviously don't want to bet minus 125, and you can get minus 118 at FanDuel. So line shopping is huge.
Always line shop, by the way, guys.
Yeah,
can't preach that.
If you have option, yeah, you just need to do it. Like if you get like so comparing this minus 118 and minus 125, like that's 7 cents, like 7 points of units. Like combine that with 500 bets over the season, and you'll be surprised with how much units you are giving away.
It really adds up. Like I'll pull up for Giannis. This is Giannis's point specifically here. I'm using betstamp.app to do this. Minus 118 as it's on FanDuel. Like some other books even have this at 31.5 already, and just a simple like it took me 3 seconds to pull up. It's well worth your time.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to the second game here. Grizzlies at Timberwolves. Here are the point lines if you're interested in those.
So I'll just say, like, we just can't bet in this game right now because Desmond Bain is questionable, Rudy Gobert is questionable. And the most important part is Rudy Gobert being questionable. So if he's out, Wolves defense entirely changed and Wolves offense entirely changed. So like it's different scenarios. Like Ja Morant is at 28 and a half, and I think that's pretty sharp line here. Like if it was like 27 and a half, I will lean over. But with Bain questionable, they give up 1 point. So it's 28 and a half, and so I don't know what to do with it. Especially with it being juice, like Ja Morant is a no bet for me in this game. On the other side, we had Anthony Edwards in great form, but he's going against Dylan Brooks with help of Jaren Jackson Jr. So like, good luck with that. Like, obviously Edwards can score still 30 points, but is it realistic? Probably not. Is it something that will he do? Like, if they play 10 games, is this something you expect for him to do like 6 to 7 times? Probably not. So like there is no value that, and especially with these questionable guys, you don't know what can you expect in this game. So we are two games less to even consider betting because all these questionable players.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, you always look at defensive matchups. If Rudy Gobert is there, then there's drop coverage. You look for a guy who can shoot in mid range. If he is playing, then if he's not playing, then obviously more stuff is available at the rim. But then it's tough to gauge what's going to happen there and who's going to be the primary scorer. So
Exactly.
smart on that one. Let's go to Miami and Orlando for this one. Florida battle.
Yeah, Florida battle, and we are like 3.5 more months into the season, and this is the first game between these two teams. And I would like especially on the Miami side, like Adebayo doesn't have a very favorable matchup against the Wendell Carter. Jimmy Butler is in a terrible form. Like I think he gets good. He get over this line in like 3 out of the last 10, and he gets some poor games. Like even no rebounds, no assists, no points. Like I don't know what's going on with Jimmy. Eh, And the second part, like third guy, Tyler Hero. Like okay, Orlando Magic allows the most, almost the like second or third most threes, but Hero can't make a shot. Like he Tyler Hero like over the last I just checked like, but I think it's pretty clear. So Tyler Hero since coming back from the injury is just a moment 6 from 36 from three. So like 1 from 8. Like this is interesting. Like 1 from 8, 0 from 7, 1 from 7, 0 from 2. Like he can make a shot like I don't know what's going on with him. So his shooting dropped from like 40% from three to 36% from three in the stretch of like 6 games. Like that's so not a good like game for like for props betting for any of the Magic guy and for the Heat guys, and you don't want to bet Orlando Magic players over against the Heat, and unders are a bit questionable because like the lines are a bit lower. So last game we had Franz Wagner at 20 and a half, now he's 18 and a half. Wendell Carter was 15 and a half, actually 16 and a half, now he's 13 and a half. So I think the bookies did pretty good job with setting the lines, and I don't know what to bet in this game. Like I don't think anything has any value. Like
Yeah.
so, yeah,
Makes sense.
difficult spot.
Let me just pull up the next game here on the slate. Cleveland and the Thunder. Pull up the props.
So yeah, if you take a look at this game, like
there you go. I'll pull it up. Sorry, it just disappeared there.
Okay, but we only have 2 players up, and
yeah.
Donovan Mitchell is
Shea and Jalen Williams.
Donovan Mitchell is questionable, and that changed completely. Like even the spread, even the flow of the game, like kind of the matchups, everything that changed completely everything. But Jalen Williams could be a good spot to bet over because there is no Dorst. Shea will get all the possible attention, and Jalen Williams actually playing pretty good lately. He's improving game by game, but also like 13 and a half rookie. Like that's always a gambling to play in difficult like matchup. Like Cleveland Cavaliers are very good defense playing on slow pace, and it will be a like I think this will be even difficult game for like guys like Shea and like Jalen would have like. So yeah, only two props. Mitchell questionable, difficult game for Shea. Like not betting. I am not for betting his overs in this game. Of course he can cover, but that will require some unbelievable shooting night for him. And I'm just not a huge fan of it. And so if you are not betting Shea over, like what we are doing here, because we don't have anything up. So one less game. So that's 4 games. That's no value. Like
Yeah. And
in
the
the last
final
one is
game is the Raptors. My Raptors, they are away at the Golden State Warriors.
So I had so many ideas for this game, and I was actually close to betting Draymond Green over, but his PRI's lines is 23 and a half. I think that's a bit high. I still lean over, but I think that's a bit high right now, like 23 and a half PRI's. So in the last game, can you just explain how the Toronto Raptors were defending Draymond Green?
Okay, well, Draymond Green is not a threat from a shooting standpoint. So the Raptors decided, at least initially in the game, that they were just straight up not going to guard him. And I think he made three-pointers in the first 2 minutes of the game because they just literally left him wide open. So this is kind of a high variance situation on Draymond Green overs because he's going to have the shots. It's just, especially if he misses a couple early, he may stop taking them entirely. But Draymond Green is going to be open for some 3-pointers today. It's just the variance there is probably a little bit too high on making them.
And he actually showed that he can knock them out. Like if he just ignore the first month of the season, he's shooting 35% from the three, like 30, close to 35%. That's actually pretty decent. And it's not like he ain't shooting any. Like he's shooting, I think, average two attempts a game over the last, even more, like 2.5 attempts a game over the last three months. And yeah, if he gets wide open every possession, I think he will take like 5 to 6. And if he makes 2 and 1 layup, he's over this line.
Mm-hmm.
I like him rebounds because Looney is going on to bench, and you have Draymond Green starting at the 5. Jordan Poole is starting. He ain't rebound. He's not rebounding at all. Steph Curry is like above average rebounder, but still coming back from the injury, so I don't expect him to be like heavily involved into rebounding. Klay Thompson is not a good rebounder. We don't know if Wiggins is going to play, so I'm like lean over Draymond Green points, lean over Draymond Green rebounds, and at the last lean over Draymond Green assists. So all combined could be like a good, but PRI lines is 23 and a half. Like that's huge, like huge line. And if he like get 8 points, 9 rebounds, that's 17. If he gets 6 assists, he's still under, even though he went over the points and rebounds line. So he needs to get over points line, rebounds line, and assist line to get over this. Like it's huge line. They are giving like I expected it to be like 22 and a half or 21 and a half, but 23 and a half is just huge. But you could just do like same game parlay, bet the lowest line, like 6 plus points, 5 plus assists, 7 plus rebounds, and that's total of 18 PRIs, and it's priced at minus 115 at DraftKings. But when you are betting PRIs, like he could get like he had 17 points in the last game, so he of course had an easy job to just cover the rest of it with rebounds and assists. Like he gets like 15 rebounds and assists almost every game, so he just needs like 9 points. But
I like. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's just talking about Draymond Green. Another bet that was eyeing is Pascal Siakam, and that's because the way the Golden State Warriors are defending. They just heavy rim protection. Like they'll just pull out and like whoever can shoot like from like 3 to 10 feet away from the rim, will have like wide open hook shot, mid-range shot, floater shot against the Golden State Warriors. And Pascal Siakam is actually like scoring like almost 50% from of his shots
Oh,
are in that area. Like
he's so deadly in mid range.
yeah, but like not deep mid range, but like free throw line
Yeah,
extended
yeah,
and yeah, that area, and also closer, like 5 to 6 feet from the rim. Like he's massive there, and yeah, great matchup for him. Not a great matchup like inside against the Draymond Green at 5. That's a bit difficult because Draymond Green is like probably, in my opinion, the best defensive player of all times, and to go against him in there, like it's difficult. It's very difficult. But if he's just going to like get back to the defender rim and leave you wide open, like 7, 8, 10 feet shots, Siakam should be in a good spot here to cover this line because he will have the usage, he will have the attempts. He just needs to make it and score over. But 24.5 in the scary line for Pascal because like I think there are 10 games in the season where he scored like 23, 22, or 24 points. Like he's always in that area. So you are just like one shot away from him going over or under, like almost in every scenario. Like so, it's just like huge variance there, and I decided to stay away. I expected them to have 21.5 alternative line, but they don't. They only have 22 as the lowest. If they had 21.5, I think I would go with Pascal Siakam over 21.5 and Fred VanVleet assist or Scotty Barnes assist. Scotty Barnes cleared the alternative line 4 or more assists in 9 of the last 10, but betting Scotty Barnes is like no go for me.
yeah.
So
High variance on Scotty Barnes.
and,
Just kind of depends what mood he's in.
yeah, and I don't want to bet anyone from the Golden State Warriors besides Green because I just don't know what's the plan for Nick Nurse. He'll target 2 players, so he'll target probably Steph Curry and Klay Thompson to just get them off the ball and try to like stop them from shooting. So Jordan Poole could have a good game, but you never know it. You just never know it, Nick Nurse. So
Yeah,
I'm trying to stay away from betting against the Raptors.
I was also kind of thinking. So Draymond Green, I like the positions on Draymond Green, just because. Well, the Raptors are gonna be playing really small today. Koloko, like the only big that actually plays for the Raptors, he just got recalled from the 905 or the G League team. So I don't know if he features much, and if he does, I think the Golden State Warriors torch him off the court because they're just gonna expose him on the perimeter. Defensively speaking, when the Raptors go to their bench, which is where they play Achua, the only big that, well, along with Boucher, that actually plays, they've been playing zone recently with Achua at the base, which he's a good rebounder, but from a size perspective, that could provide some rebounding opportunities to players. I
Like if you decide to play zone against the Warriors,
that's what I'm thinking. Like they've been doing that, but I don't think they're gonna do it here.
you just get Draymond Green in the middle and with all the shooting around him, like you get murdered there.
Yeah, they've been doing that. It's been working well. It did really well as Kings. That being said, obviously, if it comes to Golden State, that's a completely different beast. So,
Yeah.
If they do, like, this is why I kind of like the Draymond Green stuff as well going into this one, because I think he'll be involved. It's just tough finding the right way to get him involved.
Yeah,
But
it will be like Draymond Green dribble handoffs and they blitz the shooting guy. Like
yeah,
they will blitz the guy that will be so that guy when he receives the ball, he can just lob it for Draymond Green for wide open layups. Like I think we'll see that entire game, and then we'll see like it's so complex. But then what we see is high tagger on Draymond Green. So probably I don't know, like the closest guy from the weak side will get in front of Draymond to prevent the wide open layups. And then what can Draymond Green do? Get to the line, shoot a contested layup, or
kick the ball out to the wide open guy in the corner from the guy that is rotation, doing the rotation. So that brings us to Draymond Green scoring, Draymond assist. Because if he decide to score, it's good for PRI line. If he decide to get the ball to the guy in the corner, it's good for PRI. It's good for assist. And if this guy miss a shot, the Draymond Green will have a mismatch inside for an offensive rebound. So everything is if they blitz the screen or they play the zone, everything works for Draymond Green PRIs. So yeah, that's why I love it. But like I say, like high line, like they are actually like set it pretty good.
Yeah, they've set it accordingly. I guess like I was just kind of playing around with the same game parlay tool there. Like I kind of Siakam matches up quite well against the Warriors, and he's very consistently hitting 20. So if you can get like Siakam 20 plus paired with like Draymond Green 7 plus, like Pip said, you get 2 threes plus a layup, he's going to clear that line. Or if you get the 8 plus in that case for even better odds. I also I have had considerable success recently in going with Steph Curry unders against the Raptors just because Nick Nurse is just going to, Jesus Christ, they're going to have a gun on this guy as soon as he enters. 27.5 right now on Steph Curry, which is a little bit juiced, minus 120. The historical data isn't like massive because it's from previous seasons, but in the last 4 games against the Raptors, he's had 10, 23, 11, and 12 points. So the Raptors are comfortable blitzing him. I also think that's like a little bit of an opportunity in the assists. Let me just see the line. It's 6.5. Like those are some leans that I go for on Curry there.
He had 5 straight unders. Like I have one additional, like 12, 11, 23, 10, and 24.
Yeah.
5 unders.
So, but again, 2 of those are from 2018. So like that's a long time ago. 2 are from 2021, but definitely like Nurse is content losing to the Warriors if it's not Steph Curry beating him. And we've seen Nick Nurse, like even in a full final series, defending Steph Curry. Like they just want to take his game away. So those are some other leans.
I agree. That's what I said. But like I think so. I actually see like Steph was shooting 2 for 16 and 2 for 10 in those 2 games.
Yeah,
it's
crazy.
amazing.
But there was the game. I'm trying to remember specifically which game. I believe it was the one where he got 12 points and 8 assists. As much as he didn't shoot well, he did play really well though because he created for so many of his teammates. I'm pretty sure the Raptors lost that game. Yeah, Curry in that game where he shot 2 for 10 was a plus 19 because they blitzed the hell out of him, but he was like, okay, then everybody else is going to score. So
yeah, I would actually. So interesting part, like Steph Curry got 12 points, but Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins scored 33 and 32. So I would love if the Wiggins is out there, right? He will be the guy that will be wide open. Like he will get 0 attention, and that will be the guy to bet over in this game. But he's not healthy, so yeah, it's difficult. And also in both of these games, Draymond Green covered his PRI lines easily. Like he had 10 points, 9 rebounds, and 10 assists, and then he had like 4 points, 14 rebounds, and 8 assists. And that's with starting with Kevin Looney. So yeah, I think everything is in the way to bet Pascal Siakam and Draymond Green, or some combinations between these 2 guys.
Okay. So I was asking about Gary Trent steals. It's just like he's gonna go. It's just so hard to. It's a high variance spot. Like Trent can give you like 3-4 steals. You can all give you 0. He's definitely gonna be like fighting for those, but it's just tough to predict on a consistent basis that sort of metric. So I kind of struggle to handicap that one. Although I think we've given enough leans here. We've gone quite a while. Just maybe 1 or 2 minutes here. The free bet is coming. Is there anything maybe you've seen that you want to take a stab at, or maybe just some insight into using free bets and the best way to maximize your EV on those?
I'll just say like 6, 5, and 7 combination triple single for Draymond Green, betting his line on the lowest to go over. And I think you can talk about the free bets. Like I think you are using them more than me because my access to these books
That's
are
true.
just not on the.
So with free bets, you should definitely look to take some shots with your free bets because your expected value here. I mean, like if you lose the bet, you're kind of in the same spot here. I know in this case you got refunded for the Doncic one, so you kind of feel like you've lost that. I would say you should probably just ignore the fact that you lost a Doncic bet. Like just chalk that up to a loss. Focus on how you're going to maximize your free bet at this point. So look for some big plays because at the end of the day, like it's risk free, but you have to at the minimum get plus 100 on your free bets.
Yeah.
I would say like you're probably looking to get more than plus 100. You absolutely should never use your free bet on a minus line because you're not even making that amount back. Feel free, just take some long shots. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like to say like 250 to 3 plus 300 is probably like the optimal way to go for me and from my calculations on that one.
So sometimes I look to also like just for fun with a free bet. This is not really any sharp strategy or whatsoever. I do enjoy kind of going for season long plays just because it's a free bet and it's a free sweat throughout the season. I kind of had interest yesterday when we were looking at DPOY odds. We were looking at Nick Claxton at plus 700. I agree that Jaren Jackson Jr. should be favorite. I don't know if he's that strong of a favorite here. I think a lot can go wrong in like the 30 plus games that we have remaining in this season for that one. Jaren Jackson Jr. is no stranger to injuries. If anything happens there, then 100% he cannot get the award. Like I'm not hoping for anything like that at all, but I just think minus 200 for a player with this many games left in the season where I don't think it's wrapped up. Like the Rookie of the Year award is pretty much wrapped up. I think that it's a big long shot, understandably, but I think that there might be a little bit of value on how high the numbers are there for a player like Claxton. What do you think about that?
Yeah, when if it's to injury concern, I agree because Jaren Jackson Jr. is injury prone and he could be just have an injury next week and sit out the rest of the season, and then Claxton is winning. But I see it as the only scenario for him to win it because without KD, Nets defense will drop to like out of the top 10 for sure.
Yeah.
Like, over the last 5 games, they dropped from like 4th place to 9th place, and they will continue dropping because their defense was terrible. So that's my concern. Obviously, Claxton is still amazing, but not enough on that roster to give them top 10 defense without KD. So with announcement that KD is out, I think 2 more weeks.
Yeah,
he could get back like 1 week before the All-Star. So yeah, that's my only concern with this.
It's a fair point, but plus 700, I think I still believe that might be a little bit too far for that one. Yeah. But if you want to specifically go to this game, you talked about Draymond Green on all his overs, 7+ rebounds, 5+ assists, 8+ points is plus 150. That's not I don't think that's a horrible spot to look at for Draymond Green. I think he's going to have some involvement in here today. Yeah.
Yeah, no bets, 50 minutes show.
I know. Listen. There's still plenty of people watching. This might be one of our highest viewed episodes, actually.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's fun.
All right, so I think we've given enough on that. Hopefully, you guys can still kind of take some of the insight into this one. Hopefully, you can kind of use your free bet, take some of that. Maybe we can come back Monday and people talk about how they won using some of these strategies, but. We still wanted to give you this show again, full transparency on no official picks, just because we don't want to force anything that we wouldn't want you to bet. Before we go, I did get a request to show just because we're free handing today. I got a request to show how I would track a same game parlay into BetStamp. So I'll do that here just to show you guys. So let's say we are doing the Siakam 20+ and Draymond Green 7+. I forget. Let's say it's minus 120 there, just to show you guys for your tracking purposes, because somebody did specifically ask me. So I'd go to Pascal Siakam on points, I would take the DraftKings line, and then you can change it later. I would take the Draymond Green line. Let's do him on points as well. Go to the DraftKings line. Up here, you can change from singles to parlay. After you go into the game, go to player props, pick the players. When you go into the parlay, you click on either of these, and it pulls up a screen like this where you can manually adjust. So 7+ would be over 6.5. Siakam was 20+, so that'd be over 19.5. And then I don't look. So their odds don't exactly match up to the amount. So I try to pick one that's close as possible. For -120, I know that -285 and -280 together give you a full payout of -120. So then I track up to that. Hope that makes sense to the people who wanted that information. You just go to the parlay and track it like such. Also, there is a bet link setting for some books. So if you're ever, let's say you want to use DraftKings, when that is up and running, you also be able to bet link over there. But hopefully that provides some extra insight there. But thank you guys so much.
I just said something like never do like, I know this is just an example, but just to give them something additional. So never do like Draymond Green line 7.5. Never bet 6.5. Like either they like leave him open and he scored 10+ points, or he doesn't cover close to this line. So never use 1 point lower line like in these scenarios.
Yeah, of course. I'm just for the same game parlays, alt lines.
Yeah, I said like I know you just giving them one example, but just so they know that they don't do any mistakes like that in the future.
Of course. And that's why we always do 0.5 lines in the show, because I track it as 0.5 lines. Because if I do 7 there, it will register as a push rather than a 7+. So everybody's aware. All right. We appreciate longest show we've ever done, and there were no official bets. So we appreciate people who still came in to hang out with us on a Friday. Hopefully, any insight that we gave that you do bet on, hopefully that does come to fruition and that does cash. But still a fun show, in my opinion. And we'll see you guys on Monday with some more official picks. The Forward Progress channel is live right now doing NFL player props. If you want to go shift over there on YouTube, please like this and subscribe on YouTube and rate and review 5 stars on podcasts. Me and myself, we're going to enjoy our weekends. We will see you guys on Monday.